Okay, information concerning legal traffic stops and checkpoints. An article in the Times listed Sergeant Bart Kavanaugh, who is the Bossier City supervisor of the department's traffic unit. Police checkpoints. All checkpoints by law must include a turnaround or alternate route between the location of a sign announcing the checkpoint and the checkpoint itself. Delaware versus Prose, 440 U.S. 648. In 1979, the Supreme Court found that police may not stop motorists without reasonable suspicion of a crime. Friday, December 16, 2016, at approximately 11:30 a.m., state troopers conducted an illegal checkpoint on Conti and Burgundy, downtown New Orleans, to which there was no sign indicating a checkpoint, nor did they provide a turnaround point so that anybody on that road could turn around and avoid the checkpoint. Okay, Friday morning around 11:30, I entered into a state trooper checkpoint to where they were on Conti and Burgundy in New Orleans, Louisiana, checking vehicle registrations, and I was detained, and I explained to them that that was unconstitutional, and I gave them the paperwork that was, showed the process of registration, and I explained to them the matters concerning my vehicle issue with registering in Louisiana, to which my title says salvage, and they're trying to charge me like $500 some to register my vehicle because of the salvage writing on my title, to which in California I had paid for the registration and had my vehicle registered, and trying to get paperwork from California to mediate that $500 fee. And as a result, I was harassed by the state troopers. They just like badgered me, was trying to get me to violate my Fifth Amendment, as well as they hurt me, because whenever I was told to step out my vehicle, there was a curb, and I explained to them twice, showing them my veteran's card, that I had spinal fusion surgery. So whenever I went to get out my vehicle, one of the troopers grabbed my wrist and then grabbed me by the back of my shirt and pulled me and tweaked something in my back, to which I was taken to university. My blood pressure shot up. It was like 153 over 100 or something. So I had to do all kind of tests because I have pulmonary embolism and accelerated heart rate. And I found that none of the state troopers ever read me my Miranda rights as well. So in my discussion with them, I was like, I always thought state troopers had to have a college degree, to which they told me no. So I was explaining to them with the recent cop shootings that officers need to be held accountable. It's an honorable profession, and with the bad apples and the blue wall of silence, it's only making accomplices to crimes, criminal acts. And like I say, it's a lot of things that's going on in Louisiana that needs to be changed, needs to be addressed, because it's the law of diminishing returns. They're violating multiple laws in order to catch, one possible, misdemeanor or whatever. So, like I said, I noticed that there's an abuse of power, and compared to the military, you're subject to the UCMJ court martial. Um, you get found guilty, you go to Leavenworth, and you do hard time. Which I think should be a process that police officers go through. They take an oath as public servants, and that's what I kept explaining to them. They're public servants, and in essence, we are innocent until proven guilty as citizens of the United States, and they are abusing their powers. They're getting beside themselves and take offense when someone knows their rights and stands up for their rights. Whereas they should, like I said, as public servants, respect that and operate professionally. And several of the officers, like I said, they were just really badgering and harassing and trying to get me to say certain things that would incriminate myself, which I'm good at that, as far as my drill sergeants, and they could never play mind games on me, and I was never gonna, trip myself up and so forth. So in it, I'm just seeing a lot of issues with law enforcement throughout the United States, even state troopers. We even got to the discussion of there's a double action that's required to remove a gun from the holster. So, I was just like, all right, with the officers, they yell out, oh, he's reaching, he's grabbing my gun, he's grabbing my gun. Assailant or suspect can't really pull your gun out your holster from the front, and they're designed that way. And with knowing that, like I said, these are professional public servants, and they're not being held to higher standards for which they should as being enforcers of the law. They need to know the law, and consequences is the best teacher. And us just giving them slaps on the wrist is just enabling the problem and really creating this issue of officers being retaliated against for the constant abuse and victimization of citizens of the United States. And we need to, I started saying, like, I pledge allegiance to the flag, with liberty and justice for all. And then I started, I kind of sang the national anthem and explained to them that united we stand, divided we fall. And you as public servants, there need to be a higher standard held for these public servants. And that's just the issue. They're not, they're getting beside themselves. The power's going to their heads. They're treating us guilty before, found innocent, with their abusive nature, grabbing, committing battery, and so forth, unnecessary force. And whenever a citizen files a complaint, these other officers are turning a blind eye with the blue wall of silence and being accomplice to crime, criminal acts. And we got to do something about that, especially here in Louisiana. We're backwards. We're 48th in education and ignorance factor, and we need to, like I said, just up the bar, up the standards, lead by example. Be more, have more good citizens, have more people that are held to civic duty. And hey, if they cause a problem for us as citizens, they work for us. We got to cause problems for them, honestly, in the courts, with the judges, with the senators, with our governors, with our congressmen, representatives, and so forth. We got to really, hey, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And like I said, trying to address this issue of cops getting shot, it's an honorable profession, and it's kind of like a bad apple in a basket of other good fruit. It's the rotting process kind of accelerates the rotting of others' good morals and good good values, you know, and deteriorates the honor code that they take an oath to abide by.